Warning, the stories you're about to hear are detailed accounts of shenanigans, pranks, and some mistakes that are meant to replicate the sort of discussions that veterans have when they reunite over a cold beverage and do not depict the professional daily actions of the military at large. We hope to make you laugh, but not to disrespect our proud men and women in uniform. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Cammo Comedy, where we take a humorous look at the lighter side of military service. We got a big show for you today, but before we jump into it, if you like what we're doing here, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, whatever they call it on your podcasting platform. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating, write us a review, as that makes us more relevant in the algorithm and boosts the overall visibility of the show. But word-of-mouth advertising is just so powerful, so if you tell some friends, I will love you forever. Okay, let's jump into the show. I am your host, Aaron Wolf. Just as a friendly reminder to the audience, we put out a new show every single Monday, so make sure you give that notification bell a nice tap. Give it a nice tap so you don't miss a show. Also, we are doing laughter therapy here on the show. We got a lot of military members who struggle with everyday life after service, and we're just here to share a laugh and remember the good times. Also, if you like what we're doing here and you want to keep us rolling, don't be shy about sending in your stories.
And if you haven't texted one of your military friends in a while, send them a message, say hi, see how they're doing.
Or if you're old like me, write them a letter.
Write them a letter, bitch.
Send smoke signals.
Hell yeah. Joining us today is the man who is slicker than a doorknob at Diddy's house. Special guest, Murph. Murph, thanks for being on the show today.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty slick.
Too soon, man. Oh, my God.
my God.
My Lord. I got no comment.
That's so gross.
Just because of the baby oil.
Oh.
Also joining us today is the man who lost his virginity on a water slide. Call sign Double Take. Double Take, thanks for being on the show today, man.
There was a lot of pressure. Water pressure.
Yeah.
And peer pressure.
And peer pressure.
Also joining us today is the author of the new self-defense book, The Cammo Sutra, the sensual way to defend yourself. Call sign Cheeks. Cheeks, thanks for being on the show today, man.
Hey, sometimes when you don't put your looks on safe,
Great callback to that.
you know, and you got to make sure you can defend yourself when people are trying to spread your cheeks and not hate.
Should have put him in the Kimura.
The Cammo Sutra.
Combative coming.
Combative coming. That's what we called it in the Army. All right, so I got our first story.
What you got, man?
This is in Germany in the 90s. So our fella here, his name's going to be Billy. All right, Billy had a pass to go out to the movies and hang out with his friends and whatnot. So Billy sat through all the necessary briefings and whatnot that you get when you get to a base, right? They're like, hey, don't go to this place, don't go to that place.
So all of the things they tell you how to not have fun.
Exactly, like all the not fun briefings. Well, in this briefing, they tell them like, hey, when you guys go somewhere, make sure you're going in a group because there are wild boars, there are coyotes, there's wolves out here. Like, it's fucking wild, okay?
What fucking part of Germany was this?
I thought you were going to say Diddy was there.
Diddy was not there.
Watch out. There's a high alert for Diddy this weekend.
Holy shit. So, naturally you hear that, you're like, yeah, okay, whatever, because you never hear of the incidents where, like, that shit actually happens,
Yeah,
right?
they never fill in the deats on those stories, you know what I mean?
Of course not.
Are you about to tell us that this guy got attacked by a boar in a fucking movie theater?
So,
Well, the warnings were legit.
yeah. Well, he gets a pass to go out and hang out with his friends and whatnot, so they go to the movies, okay? Now, he also states that everything was, like, gray and covered in dust at that time.
That checks out.
Like the uniforms.
Yeah, just like the uniforms, right? So it was hard to see shit. Well, they go there to the movies with no issues, right? Okay. They see the movie, they hang out, they have a good time, and he tells his group, hey, you guys go ahead and head back, I'll catch up, because he was sitting there talking to a lady, right?
Nice.
So they leave, they make it back, no problem.
A Fraulein.
A Fraulein. Ein Fraulein, ja. Ja, bitte.
Where's Kronk when you need him?
Yeah, right? So Billy finishes up talking with this lady, and he starts walking back. He's walking through the woods, and he's looking around, and he's like, he remembers the briefing. He's like, this is the time it's going to happen. So he's on high alert, right? And as he's walking, he's realizing the mud is like all the way up to his BDU pants.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so like
It was like this high.
it was that high.
This was back in the era where you actually had to shine your boots, too.
Yeah.
So this is not a fun time.
Not a good time, right? Well, he's like past his ankles in mud. So imagine walking through the woods alone, ankle deep in mud, and you're remembering these briefings of people being hunted by wild boars and wolves.
Yeah.
It'd be like running in your dreams.
Right.
Because of how thick that mud is, right? Well, he makes it out of the woods with no incident.
Okay.
All right. And Billy sees the tent and he's like, okay, I'm home free. We're good.
Nice.
Starts to walk up to the tent and then he freezes. But he sees a wolf by the tent.
Hey, wait a minute. There's only one wolf.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Okay.
Not in the
Take it
studio,
easy.
Aaron, in Germany.
It's not Beer Wolf. Take it easy. Nobody's stepping on your title.
Okay,
This is
thank
an
you.
actual wolf, not what you fucking put on and pretend with, okay?
A forest puppy.
Don't make me flexing, you
You
bitch.
fucking furry. Aaron Wolf's a furry, if you didn't know.
Now we got to put him down.
That's where we got the name. So he's staring at this wolf, and the wolf doesn't see him yet.
So it's like right outside the tent.
It's right outside the tent, right? And he's not far off of it. So he starts looking around for an exit plan. He's like, fuck me, it's happening, right?
Right.
Back in the woods.
And you can't
like Homer backing into the bush. Just
just disappears. Well, he sees a Humvee that's off to the side, and it's not far from him. So he kind of looks around. He sees it. He darts forward. He dives on top of the Humvee, right? Lands on top of it, makes this big, loud bang crash. The wolf looks up and then takes off running and sprints away because it scared him. So Billy's up on top of this Humvee shitting his pants right now because he almost had an encounter with this wild beast that was going to eat him.
By the way, let me just go ahead and point this out. No briefing could have prevented this encounter because it was right outside of his fucking door.
Yeah, but you got a better chance to fight the thing if you got 6 people.
Yeah, that's true.
He's by himself. He's
That's
going
fair.
to die. A wolf versus a human?
that's why I'm surprised he didn't yell out to whoever was in the tent.
I think he was afraid to alert the wolf.
He should have put him in the Kimura Sutra.
Ah, right. I don't think it works on wolves unless you're a furry like you.
Shut up.
We're going to start this rumor.
Speaking of Aaron, that's a good reminder. We need to take him for a walk after this episode.
Still got a shit.
Did you bring his leash and collar?
Yeah, the spiky one.
Oh, God, gross. So he's on top of this Humvee. The wolf gets scared. It runs away. He's like, holy shit, right? So he beelines it into the tent. He's like, guys, you'll never fucking believe what happened. Billy's sitting there trying to tell everybody about this encounter he just had. Again, his boots are covered in mud, right? He probably looks like shit at this point. He's like, guys, there was a fucking wolf outside. You're never going to believe it. And they're like, yeah, okay, Billy, whatever, man. Nobody fucking believed him.
They're like, what mushrooms did you eat in the woods?
No, right. How bad is that? You're like, dude, I just had this crazy experience and nobody fucking believes
It's
me.
literally crying wolf. Literally crying wolf.
Literally crying wolf.
Oh, my goodness.
But I loved that nobody believed him in that story because that's basically the premise of this show is crazy, wild shit that happens and you tell people, they're like, I don't know.
At first, I thought you were going to say that when he was on the Humvee, they came out and were like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's trying to explain that he's not crazy because he's like, well, there's a wolf. It was right there.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, there's not, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good fucking story, Billy. Thanks for sending that in.
Yes. Watch out for those wolves out there.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let's go back to the 1900s.
Hell yeah.
Towards the middle. We'll go to the early 60s.
Okay.
We got this, the fella, I'm going to call him Casey Jones.
Right.
Because back then in the early 60s, there was a railroad component
Oh, no shit.
to the Army. Yes.
Like people that would build railroads?
Well, yeah. Well, they used the railroads for logistics.
Ah.
So they were in charge of getting the tracks from the different commercial railroads and getting equipment and supplies from point A to point B and all of that. So they had conversations with Penn Central and all of those railroads and stuff in order to get military trains and cargo from point A to point B and all of that kind of stuff.
So he's not like a big Grateful Dead fan or something.
No.
I had no idea that the Army used to have like a railroad MOS. That's wild.
Well, yeah, it was. And,
88 uniform. I think they still have it.
No shit?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
yeah. So I don't know if anybody actually has it anymore, but it's there. You know, the tradition in the Army, they'll never do away with it.
Right.
You know,
They
that's
simply
just
just
like
wear a
they still have
conductor's hat.
cavalry. You know, that's so. Anyway, he signed up for that and went to basic training. Then he was going to go to railroad school or whatever, and his orders said, "Don't do that."
Oh no. See, now it sounds like an Army story.
Just getting jerked around.
Yeah.
So he's got these new orders, and it's sending him to truck driver school.
88 Mike.
So he's at
wheels.
Fort Knox, Kentucky, is where he's at.
Okay.
And he goes through all the training and all whatever the Army did back then, how to crank the truck and things like that.
Fred Flintstone feet through the bottom.
Yes. So he's waiting for his orders after he gets done with all this training, and so the Army puts him to good use. Okay, we're assigning you to the motor pool. And the motor pool says, "Oh, great, fresh meat. We're going to give you this commercial 2.5-ton box truck, and you're going to have a regular route to run as long as you're here with us."
Okay.
And so basically what he was doing was every morning he'd drive over to the motor pool, sign out a truck. He'd go over to the reception center. They give him 3 or 4 new guys that were waiting orders or just waiting for basic to start. And then he would do whatever was on the list, which might be going to a warehouse, picking up furniture, taking it to a barracks, taking the old furniture out, taking it back to the warehouse, doing things like that. Going over here to pick up groceries and taking it to all the mess halls and
Just
things.
not train stuff.
No train stuff. He didn't even have a model train. He was, he was just driving. So while he was there, an uncommon weather event hit Fort Knox. They had an ice storm.
Oh, shit.
That is rare for.
Yeah, well, yes. And it was the whole city around Fort Knox, everything was brought to a complete standstill for 3-4 days. And he said every day he'd go out and start up his car, make sure everything was all right and all that. But everybody was to shelter in place, and because there's ice on the road.
Yeah.
Don't drive.
They
They don't know how to handle that in the South.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So after a few days, they figured enough of it had melted off. Okay, you can come back to base, and we're going to get back to normal. So he drives in, goes to get his truck because he was using the same truck every day. He goes down there, sucker won't start. So he goes to the motor pool sergeant, and he says, "Truck won't start."
Shit.
And that crusty old fella says, "Okay, fine, we'll fix that. Come on, jump in this truck with me." And he drives his truck down, and he backs up to the commercial truck that Casey is supposed to be driving. They get down there, and Sarge says, "Do you know what we're about to do?" And Casey says, "Yeah." He says, You're going to pull me out, and then I'm going to pop the clutch and start the truck." And he says, "Oh, okay, good." Now, for a lot of people that don't understand that, this is before automatic transmissions.
Right.
So all the trucks had a manual transmission. So you get the vehicle going fast enough, you've got it in neutral, you put it in gear, pop the clutch, and it turns the engine.
Right.
And it starts.
You're speaking
Without
a
a battery.
foreign language.
Yes, I know. So anyway,
Also, like, if this is the early 1960s, this has to be at least like 1950s, 1940s style truck.
oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's usually 10 years behind whatever the current thing
least.
is.
Oh, yeah.
So, back then they even had windows that you had to roll down by hand. They had a
You're
crank on
making
the
that
door.
up. You're making that up. Next, you're going to tell me they didn't have heated seats.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that didn't come along till later.
When I was in, our Jeeps did not have heaters in them. Period. So anyhow, getting back to Casey. So motor pool sergeant hooks a chain to his truck, hooks a chain to the bumper of the commercial truck, says, "Okay, you ready?" Casey says, "Yeah." So he starts pulling the truck. They get up about 20 miles an hour. Casey pops the clutch. Truck starts right up, but when you do that, when the wheels grab the road, there's a hesitation.
Oh, shit.
And when that happens, great strain is put on the chain between the vehicle being towed and the towing vehicle.
Oh.
So the towing vehicle kept on going at the same speed, which meant something had to fail. In this particular case, it was the bumper. Even though it was a steel bumper.
Right.
So the one side
This
of
is
the
a
bumper.
real bumper. From back
Real
in the
bumper.
day.
You could actually push vehicles with it.
Yeah.
Without marring it. But there's about 3 foot of the bumper that's sticking straight out from the front of the vehicle. Kind of like a rhino horn sticking out, you know.
Oh, shit.
So they look at that, and Casey says, well, what do you want to do, Sarge? Sarge says, it's fine. Go ahead and start your route.
Of course he does.
So Casey says, okay, Sarge. So he goes to the reception center, picks up his troops, and so they're going off base to go pick up a load of something at a warehouse that's off base at a civilian warehouse to bring it back. So as he's driving down the road, he gets to the gate where the MPs are, and they see this rhino truck coming. Naturally, they stopped him and said, where do you think you're going with this?
Yeah.
He says, well, I'm going to such and such and so-and-so. No, you're not. Take this back to the... Well, that's where I just came from, was the motor pool, and Sarge says it's okay. No, you ain't leaving with this.
This idiot's driving around with a fucking bumper sticking straight out.
So...
Can only deal with pedestrians. Though.
How much force do you think had to have been exerted on that bumper to do that?
Oh, a bud.
At least a pound.
At least 1 pound.
Oh, yeah. No, that took a lot.
That's wild. 3 feet out. Oh, my God.
We'll be right back with more Cammo Comedy after a quick word from our sponsor. Stay tuned.
With Just the Tip Tactical, Just the Tip has never felt so good. Their top-notch muzzle brakes tame your rifle's recoil, keeping you locked on target and grinning like you just hit the bullseye in more ways than one. Say goodbye to kick and hello to faster follow-up shots. Check them out today at justthetiptactical.com. That's justthetiptactical.com. Whether you're looking to improve your rifle or just want some cool apparel with an eye-catching logo, go now to justthetiptactical.com. That's justthetiptactical.com. Enter promo code WOLF, that's WOLF, for 15% off. You can't beat that. And when you patronize the companies that sponsor us, it helps us pay the bills over here. So thank you for supporting the businesses that support us. Patriot Mobile. If you haven't made the switch yet, then what are you waiting for? For years, Patriot Mobile has stood on the principle that freedom is worth fighting for. These guys are legit and staunchly pro-military. Patriot Mobile supports all kinds of pro-military causes to include Warrior Rising, Folds of Honor, Boot Campaign, Tunnel to Towers, Soldier Strong, and Carry the Load. So don't support those big companies that don't got your back. Make the switch to Patriot Mobile today. Now, I know what you're thinking. Aaron, I like my coverage, and I don't want to drive to a shop and go through the hassle of switching my service. Well, good news. Patriot Mobile has better coverage because it's one of the only providers that can give you coverage on any of the 3 major networks. And it's not a hassle to sign up. Just call their U.S.-based customer service line at 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Or just click the link in the description and sign up. It usually only takes about 15 minutes using an eSIM, and you don't have to drive anywhere. Now, if you're locked into a contract, not to worry, because Patriot Mobile has a buyout program of up to $500 per device. So call today, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Or just click the link in the description and make sure you use the promo code WOLF, that's WOLF, for 1 free month of service. Okay, let's get back into the show.
All right, so I'm going to take the next one.
All right, what you got, man?
Do you want me to boo you?
That would not be
preferred.
helpful.
That would be preferred, actually.
Aaron hates when I boo people.
I like negative reinforcement. So anyways, it's another basic training Army story from the 1960s.
All right.
So for everybody who's been in the military, can picture the setting of basic training. You know, it's high stress. You're getting yelled at. Not fun. It's not a chill time. So the individual that was telling us this story...
That encompasses the totality of basic training. It has to be explained so simply. It's like, It's just not a good time.
Just not a good time. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. So when this guy gets to basic, he notices that one of the drill instructors is, by military standards, ancient. Like, way older.
It's like in his 30s.
No, he said this guy was like 45 or 50.
Oh, wow.
Which normally, your drill instructors are maybe 10 years older than you because they're running you around. They have to keep the PT standard. And this guy just did not fit the bill.
Yeah, typically you're going to see drill sergeants be like about 25, maybe 30-ish, early 30s.
And this dude's like 45, 50, kind of a dad bod, and he's just sticking out like a sore thumb. So anyway, so the troop is like, this guy just doesn't make sense. Like, what's he doing here? He is nowhere near the other drill instructors
just
in
not
any way.
Fitting in.
Yeah, so he's like, what is the deal here? So he ends up asking one of the chow hall workers, like, hey, who is this guy? And come to find out, it was an individual who was actually a very high rank.
Oh, okay.
And to make it short, he wasn't necessarily being punished, but he was so close to retirement and had not progressed enough in his career that he was in trouble of losing his retirement.
Oh, yeah.
So they did what I believe is called a RIF.
A RIF,
Murph?
reduction in force. But during that era, what they would do is, especially with the officers, if you were in a rank too long and you didn't progress and it didn't look like you were going to make it, you would be riffed out. In other words, you just be released, honorable and all of that. It wasn't any kind of punishment or negative connotations, but you were let go, so to speak. But
gotcha. So that was this guy's situation. So really, the Army was kind of doing him a favor because instead of losing his retirement, they bumped him down to a lower level. I think he had been an officer, made him a senior NCO. That way he could finish out his time and still get his retirement. But as a lot of you guys and the listeners know, people that are within like a year or two of getting out normally don't have the same gusto.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a shit, which is even fucking weirder to think about in a basic training environment because the instructors are always so intense.
Right.
So, I mean, like getting in line for chow hall, you picture all the other instructors are like, hurry up, get in line, just yelling, making it stressful. Yeah. And he's telling us in the story that this guy's like, go ahead and just get in line.
Line up real
or like,
quick,
they're doing PT, and instead of like 1, 2, 3, he's like, all right, do some push-ups. Okay. Like the guy was just completely chill.
They're just waiting for the bomb to explode.
Yeah, and apparently it never did.
Wow.
He just did not fucking care.
Right. He was so close to the end. And how many people out there have known people that are really close to the end? It's just kind of like your senior year, last 6 months of your senior year of high school. Where
Yeah.
You just check out.
yeah.
Just phoning it in and just like whatever, man. So that would be the drill sergeant to get if you got ever so
Oh,
lucky.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I based on my own experience with basic, I can't imagine what that'd been like. It would have thrown off the tempo of everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, oh my God, we're gonna get in trouble. And like, nah, hey, don't do that.
It would almost be worse though, because you're like, say you're hanging out with fucking Loosey Goosey over here, and he's not screaming at you, and then you take that attitude and you start interacting with another drill sergeant.
Yeah, and now you're getting hammered.
It's gonna be way worse.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like they're going to pay for it once they hit AIT.
Oh,
They get,
yeah.
like new instructors and stuff.
Oh,
Be like, you got away with this shit in basic? Yeah.
yeah, sure did.
My
drill
instructor was
sergeant
cool.
Literally didn't care.
He didn't give a fuck.
He was close to the end.
So we just thought that was pretty funny. That's wild.
I cannot fathom that. I had a drill sergeant who was very clearly on steroids.
So he was chill.
So he was the opposite of this guy.
He
Like,
was cool as a cucumber and then would just snap.
He was intense with enhancement.
Yes.
oh wow, yep.
I can't imagine that. Oh, just constantly in a state of when is dad going to hit me? I can't fathom that.
Stepchild syndrome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's almost worse.
Yeah. That's an awesome story. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so I got the next story. We've got ourselves a Navy story. And this story is also going back to the early 1960s. So this group of sailors are out on a ship, and they are out in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean. And it is fucking cold outside, okay? Now, this guy told us that it wasn't snowing, but it was just bitter cold outside, and as waves and mist and stuff like that would wash aboard, it would just get the ice. It was just like a horrible experience.
Fuck that.
Do ships have heat?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
If you're
serious?
inside,
Oh, thanks.
if you're on deck, there's no heat.
So this story takes place when all of the sailors are getting into line up for chow. So the way that this worked is everybody had to line up on the deck of the ship, and there was an open door that went down below deck, and then they kind of took a turn over to starboard or whatever, and then there was the galley, and they
Good
could have the
terminology.
chow, stuff like that,
Very
right?
nice.
So anyway, they're all sitting out there shivering when all of a sudden they just kind of look and they see a fucking 30-foot wave coming in their direction.
Nope. Actually, I thought you were going to say an iceberg at first.
No. It wasn't anything like that. But there is this 30-foot wave that's heading right for them.
Oh, no.
Now, there's a technique in the Navy and dealing with bigger ships and stuff like this that's called quartering. What that actually is the captain of the ship will change the course and kind of steer into the wave a little bit, anywhere from like 45 to 90 degrees, something like that, and just kind of mitigate the blast of the wave.
Oh, like pointing into it, kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So that way they don't just take and it washes everybody overboard and that kind of stuff. Anyway, so they change course real
And
quick.
these guys are out in the open?
Yes, they're lined up for chow.
Fuck
On
that.
deck. On deck.
I'm skipping food.
I'm skipping the Navy.
Fuck that.
Hard pass.
So anyway, like everybody who sees this coming, like they start grabbing a hold of like lifelines and stuff like that, and then boom, the wave just completely like washes over them, right? Now, luckily, like nobody was washed out to sea or anything, but these guys are just standing there soaking wet and they're freezing fucking cold, right?
Waiting for their rehydrated eggs.
I wouldn't even be hungry anymore.
Fuck that. For some shitty chow.
That's where you just go back to bed and restart.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to eat sometime. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, those are big deals. Like when you're out on the ship. Well, anyway, the captain of the ship at this point in time says, you know what we're going to do? We're going to actually like let you guys wait in the midship passageway. So why don't you like come inside?
They could have been inside the whole time.
Apparently.
There was a place for them to wait inside.
Apparently.
It's
But,
the fucking military chief.
Well, no.
This is just what they were used to.
They made a mess of the passageways by coming in. That's why they had to stay outside so that they wouldn't mess up the passageway.
and they probably block shit from people trying to get from place to place that are actually like tasked out.
if
on
you
the
think
ship
about
and
it, it's
stuff
the
like
sailors' faults because they shouldn't have gotten their uniforms wet.
That's right.
that. But anyway, so like everybody, once they get inside this midship passageway, right? Like everybody's soaked, everybody's bitching, everybody's cold. But beyond that, the biggest complaint that they had was, damn it, my fucking cigarettes got all wet. What the fuck am I supposed to do? And they were fucking pissed. Now, the good news is they actually had a store on the ship, and they were a dime a pack for cigarettes back in the day. So, like, they could get more, but people were pissed off that their cigarettes got wet.
That's so military.
I mean, by today's standards, that's like losing your pouch of dip or your Zins.
Yeah.
And for some people, that's just a day ruiner all in itself.
Yeah, not the 30-foot wave and hypothermia.
No, where's my fucking tobacco?
You just learned to take that bullshit in stride. But look, don't mess up my smokes.
I'm picturing somebody sitting there just
Trying to light a wet, bent cigarette.
Your fucking matches are all wet
with
now.
a wet match. Yeah.
Just crying. I fucking hate the Navy.
Nobody seemed to be that pissed off that they got hit with a wave, but they were pissed that their smokes got all soaked.
There's like 80 dudes outside soaking wet from head to toe, waiting for a shitty chow line where they're going to give you some Yardbird and a sorry scoop of noodles, and all you want is a cigarette.
You need a cigarette after that shit.
Oh my God.
That's such a military thing.
Oh, fuck all of that. Oh, man. That's awesome.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Cammo Comedy Show Podcast. If you like what we're doing here and you want to participate in this community, there are many different ways you can contribute.
First and foremost, tell someone about the show. Word of mouth advertising is very powerful, and we really appreciate you helping us out.
If you have any funny military stories of your own or know somebody who does, with their permission, of course, you can contribute those stories via email at stories@cammocomedy.com. That's stories, STORIES, at CAMMOCOMEDY.com. And if you're not too good at the internet, drop us a voicemail at area code 531-222-6146. That's area code 531-222-6146.
Yeah, and if you want to interact with us throughout the week, hit me up on my socials, Facebook and Instagram. Just look up $call Cheeks.
We have a lot of big plans for this show. In building this community to support veterans, we will announce here soon. So stay tuned. All right, I'm going to go enjoy a nice pasta salad with a little mayonnaise later.
Okay, first of all, mayonnaise?
Why do you always have a problem with the way I talk?
There's a way you're supposed to say the word, Aaron.
Mayonnaise?
That's not it.
Panaz.
That's not fucking it, Aaron. That's not.
No, it wasn't. This is talking about baby oil. You're going too deep into this.
I'm not the one that mentioned Diddy.
Just like at Diddy's house. Just saying.
Is this just going to be a Diddy's episode, Aaron?
It is. Every story we have today involves baby oil and KY jelly.
And sex trafficking? Jesus.
Yeah, we didn't tell you, but this is why you're back on the show.
I'm not leaving this garage, am I?
He was trafficked.
You've been trafficked. Imagine walking through the woods alone. You're remembering these wild boar and wolf briefings. Briefings, abbreviating.
The wolves are in the tent.
There's a fucking wolf next to the tent.
Oh, I was making a joke.
Stepped on it.
Yeah, sorry. Take that back. I was just making a joke.
So he makes it back to the tent.
Have you ever had a spouse or been dating somebody or something like that, and you have like a really close near-death experience that you try to express to
Anytime
them?
my wife's driving, yeah.
Right. Well, you try to express it to them, and they're just so underwhelmed. That's what it sounds like old Billy. They're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, she has a bee in the car.
Yeah.
She's like, oh,
I could have died.
you almost got shot while being deployed? Well, one time there was a bumblebee in my car.
Smashed it with my helmet.
Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. That's
That was
right.
a good callback to that earlier
Yes.
episode.
And he says,
Casey?
Yeah,
Is that
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I forgot you gave him a name. Sorry.
Yes,
I didn't know if you just said
okay.
his real name. Sorry.
Okay, that's no, it's
Sorry,
it's his
Norman.
railroad name.
Railroad
Even though
name.
he's driving truck, he's got a railroad name because that's what he signed up for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when you're inside, Cheeks, you build a fire, and then you use the fire inside the boat to stay warm.
I hate you.
Don't ask stupid questions.
I fucking hate this show.